Yes, very good. Now tell me, how do you feel? How is the feeling?
Cool, cool.
Cool, cool. And?
Cool.
And? Wet. Very good, read.
Wet.
Okay, now step forward. Move to the last container. Sasha? Yes, now tell me, how do you feel? Look in front, read. How do you feel?
Dry.
Dry. Very good. Clap for yourself.
So this was inclusive education, the whole culture and climate, how it has started right from nursery till class 12. You saw one boy who has red hair and he's albino child and rapid eye movement, retina movement, so he can't see and progressively he's losing his eyesight. This year he has passed class 12, but he had aspiration to be a doctor. We knew that he can't be a doctor, but still, because he had a dream, we thought that let us take him to the point where we can. So even in chemistry and biology lab, he can't do the experimentation, deal with the acid and all those things. So he had two buddies. For chemistry lab, two buddies, for biology, two buddies, for physics also, he's not supposed to get science at all. And in class 10th also, his percentage fell down. I mean, he did not deserve science on his own, but just as a special need child, we made some exception and gave him science, and he has passed out class 12, appeared in NEET exam this time. He has appeared and he won. So we spoke to his parents, spoke to his grandparents, thinking that he can't be. Then the grandparents said we can he can do a course in pharmacy and we can do a medicine shop and he can be integrated there. So we are training him there. Though he has passed out class 12 this year itself, but we are training to be financially independent, how he can handle his finance, because slowly he is not able to see. So when after 2-3 years, he'll be losing his eyesight completely, how he can be socially integrated. And this boy, you won't imagine, he is in theater, he is in basketball, he is in drama, in annual day, in every activity. So one day I was just with the special needs children, I was having a session. Because he has problem in eyesight, so I was telling others, when he is going to washroom, be very careful, don't close or something I was saying. He's saying, ma'am, what they will do to me? I can close them in the washroom itself. You don't be scared about me. I take care of me. I mean, the kind of spirit and the attitude, positive attitude and the zest for life, this he says that my teachers have given me, my students have given me, because there is no discrimination at any point of time. He said, I am doing everything what my peers are doing. So I am not deprived of anything. So he didn't feel throughout the school that he has some special need. So that is the true sense of inclusion. When you build the culture and climate, first thing is attitudinal barrier. The teachers have to really believe that the child can, and you get that kind of orientation in your class. You know, I learnt one thing in UK, that when a special need child, even if in class 9th or 10th, having some specific need is coming to your class, day before when the child is really reaching your class, talk to your class. So in UK, I have seen that they will call the parents of that class, that section, and making the children sit, they will talk that a child is coming to our class just like yourself, but you have to take care in these activities. He's just like you, but he needs help here, there and there. So all the parents are also sitting. So this is the right kind of orientation when you get 100% acceptance. When other children respect. When other children do not discriminate that he or she is something less than me. So that kind of orientation is required in the class when they are doing. So the parents also, when they knew that this child has certain problems, they will ask the parent of this child, do you need some respite? Can I take care of your child? You want to do shopping, you want to visit a movie, we can take care of him. You know, and this child was not having any speech. So no speech at all, but the child had a best friend. So the child will take to the music room, to the dolls museum, they'll eat together, they'll play water games, they'll go to the washroom together. So that's the buddy system right from the beginning, where the buddy is thinking, I'm the best friend and we can share everything, we can play together, having no speech. So that's the kind of atmosphere or culture you have to build. Right in the beginning, this is actually a PPT, just to present, they have made it a video, but first slide was hallmark of an inclusive school. What should be present? Can you have a checklist to find out whether your school is an inclusive school or not? How accessible is your school? Every corner of your school, is it accessible? Do you have a disabled friendly toilet, washroom? If you don't have ramp everywhere, then do you have a lift? In the lift, can the wheelchair be accommodated? In the class, if the child wants to rock, can you accommodate the furniture? Do you know how to make sitting arrangement with the child who has ADHD problem, where he should sit or she should sit? What kind of accommodation and modification you can do in the class? Even in 11th, 12th also, this time I have 9 special need children. So what kind of accommodation and modification our teachers are doing to acclimatize the child in the classroom and feeling completely normal? This child in chemistry lab, biology lab, lot of precaution, lot of care has to be taken. Because if something goes wrong in the experimentation, then parents, of course, they have their aspiration, but we have to be very, very careful. So that's why the buddies really did the work, and he has written. So this kind, when the children are coming, never limit them, thinking that they can't do. They may not do, but you give all the exposure, you give all the facilities, amenities to the child so that we can take the child to the highest potentiality. That is my point. Even if they are coming in nursery, most of the schools I have seen, when the child is clearing class 8, they advise go for NIOS, Open University, because now we can take care. So you will be not be doing well in academics, my school result will be affected. Who is taking care in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? Lot of work. So teachers are not ready to walk that extra mile. So we are moving away the child from the formal schooling to sit at home and appear from NIOS. That is quite unfortunate. These children, unless very severe children, they can be educated in the school with little extra effort. And in the CBSE also, there are a lot of provision, and they are also making new provision for special need children. Like I have written to Sam Bharadwaj also, only a blind question is coming now for ADHD, for Down syndrome and others also, for hearing impairment. Those who are hearing impaired, lot of children are coming with hearing impairment or cochlear implant. So in this case, language development is a problem because they can't hear. So it is a problem. So now in my school, the whole staff is Indian Sign Language trained. Whole staff. I have a beautiful video there also. So now International Sign Language was there, which was not aligned to our culture. Like their symbol of mother, their symbol of finish, yes, greeting, all those things are not aligned with our culture. So now the Indian Sign Language has come where the children can understand better. So those language in the summer vacation or during the Saturdays, slowly all the teachers are trained. Now the special educator and teachers are training the peer educators, the buddies. These buddies and peer educator, they are going to each section and the common language, greeting each other. If a child needs to go to washroom, if a child needs to drink water, needs to eat, basic facilities. So the children have got that skill. Now, every section, basic sign language, everybody knows. So, the children who cannot speak or can't hear feel belonged. That somebody, if you go to Costa, if you go to Starbucks or somewhere, you find these cafes, they really employ children, those who can't speak or listen or see, all those things. So, if you speak in their language, whenever I go to Costa, I meet a person who can see but who can't speak and hear. When I speak in their language, they're so happy, they'll come to you twice. You need something. I'll say, I don't need any sugar. But the person will come and tell me in sign language, do you need little sugar? Because he thinks that this is a person with whom I can communicate. So they feel belonged. You know, in Delhi, South Campus, Santiniketan, we have a cafe completely managed, controlled, financed by special need children. So we don't undermine their aspiration or their capabilities. They can achieve. If they are trainable, they can be educable. You take them to the maximum. So the Anthelia project you saw and the 14 products we are manufacturing, basically I started for special need children. Thinking that they can do the packaging, they can do the branding or sale or all those things they can do. But now when I have developed that internship program, now these children are going to bakery. And they are very good at bakery. They are, during pandemic, they sold, my special needs children, cupcakes. So they sold and fed migrant laborers. They sold cakes and they bought PPE kit for Deen Dayal Upadhyay Government Hospital. So that's the kind of thing they can do with our guidance. So how we give them a respectable life later on. Parents will not be there forever. So these children in the school, when they pass class 12, don't leave their hand. So class 12, they are socially and financially integrated. So that's what I wanted to show, the inclusion. Now I'll start with NCF foundational year. NCF foundational year, FS. This is our key points, NCF. Yeah, this one I wanted to start, because unless I start this, I can't go to the senior level. Next slide. Next. These are some data. Next. We all know that 85% of the brain development takes place in between 3 to 8 years. That's why yesterday the group I said that you are the most important person in a child's life, who is shaping, who is building character, who is shaping, who is really giving some neural development to the brain of the child where it grows at the maximum rate. 85% brain development takes place in between at the age group of 3 to 8. So earlier 3 to 6 was never under formal education. In village areas in India, it is Anganwadi or Balvatika, like that. So now, new education policy is bringing this age group 3 to 6 into formal education. So either we'll be having, all of us, we have 2 classes, isn't it? Here I heard that it is KG1, KG2. In our place, it is nursery and KG, 2 classes. So we have to add one more class. By the age of 6, the child has to be in class 1. Age of 6, child has to be in class 1. So if it is 3 and 4, then you have to add one more class 5, then the child will go to class 1. So the timeline is up to 26, 27. So all of us have 2 classes, we have to add one, but we need clear guideline and some written material from the state government, because it is in the concurrent list, state government. So we are waiting. When we get clear guideline, we'll start. But in our private school or here, already we have got 2 classes. In government schools, in KVs, in JNVs, they start their schooling from class 1. So they have to start 3 more classes. For them, the timeline is actually till 27. We have to add one more. So maybe next year, if government gives us guideline, next year itself we'll start one more class. This year, when you did Oasis, you have seen it is written preschool 1, 2, 3. / Balvatika 1, 2, 3. So we have to take these 2 KG2. If it is an exception, you can call A6. If a child, just in the lunch break we were talking, that maybe you are getting children straight in class 1 in your school. They have done somewhere else in private setup. Then if you feel that the child is not ready for class 1, socially not ready, not school ready, then there is a 3-month school preparatory module which NCERT has developed. So these 3 months is just like a breach course where you are training the child and your teachers are trained so that you prepare the child for class 1. Like HPC I was doing yesterday. So unless the child is ready for the next class, continue with the same competencies, continue with the same learning outcome. So here also class 1, when the child is coming to you, you have to find out whether the child is ready, school ready, socially ready or not. Otherwise 3-month course has been devised. So this is the brain development you can see at birth, 6 years old and 14-year-old. Look at the 6-year-old brain, how it is growing. So that's how 3 to 8 year is so important. Next. So this is sensitive period in early brain development. Beautifully it is done. This is by Ministry of Education and NCERT. This PPT we have all developed together. So this is a brain development sensitive period. So it is written 0 to 7, up to 8 it is going. You can see the brain development. Next. How many social skills, how many skills they can acquire? Quality preschool is a smart investment. It is said the country which invests maximum in early childhood care and education and preschool education prospers the most, gets human capital formation. What is human capital formation? Like capital formation, the dividend on human resources is highest if we spend more on early childhood care education. Next. So this one, yesterday I spoke to them. I'll just in a nutshell, I'll repeat this. All of them have heard this. So this is in NCF foundational stage. If you read the page number 2, 3, you'll find out holistic education and holistic development. So holistic development here, it is from Indian knowledge system, Panchkosh Bikas, 5-layer of development. So the first layer is Annamaya. Anna means food grain, food, which is very, very essential for survival. So Annamaya Bikas means physical well-being. When we are talking about physical well-being, endurance, strength, safety, security, all those things. So health and hygiene and safety and physical well-being. Next one is Pranamaya Kosh or life force energy. With energy, with positive attitude, the life chest, like we say, the spirit of life, that has to be Pranamaya Kosh. Third one is Manomaya, the mind layer, that is socio-emotional well-being. When we take care of mental well-being, socio-emotional well-being. The first one is physical, second one is life energy, third one is socio-emotional. This is cognitive, world around us. Your math, science, literacy, looking inward, spiritual, moral, aesthetic, all these kind of development. That is Anandmaya. So these are 5 layers. Each layer exhibits certain distinct characteristics for holistic development. Next one. So the Panchkosh concept and ECC domain. You can see here physical development is called Saririk Vikas. Development of life, energy, intellectual. We have already discussed this, emotional, mental development. Next one. Demonstrate. The child should know those things. So this is competency. Goals means you have an objective, curricular goal. What do you aim at? So aim of the education, then curricular goals, then your learning outcomes and competencies. These are related like that. When you write the lesson plan also, you always write, isn't it? Even if you are following your private publication, the first paragraph is that, learning objective, learning outcome. It's written, no? So these are the thing. Now we have to add the competency, the skill and the value. I don't know how, I would like to see one lesson plan, how you are writing lesson plan. So we have entry card, we have exit card, we have learning outcome, and the worksheet and assignment are aligned with the learning outcome. Learning outcome chapter wise given in NCERT, every class. So your worksheet, your assignment has to be aligned with those learning outcome. Then only you have achieved your goal, developmental goal. So worksheet assignment, and then when we are writing this concept I am doing, what skill I can achieve, what the child is getting, what kind of skill, what value you are attaching, what SDG goal you are achieving or you are incorporating into your concept. So while introducing a concept, I am always in my subject at least, I know that I can attach a value, I can attach a skill, I can attach one SDG goal. So while designing your lesson plan, for every chapter you have to include one skill. If the child is getting, it can be any skill, leadership skill, collaborative skill, interpersonal skill, writing skill, communication, any 21st, media skill, literacy skill, life skill, anything. You just attach that what the child is getting one skill from this concept, what are you teaching? You know, and what value you can attach. Any value. Like water I was saying in the morning, saving water. Isn't it? Measurement of water. So the child should know what are the sources of water, what is the shape of water, everything. So there are a lot of skills, values, attitude. There has to be a positive attitude that yes, I have to work positively to save water. Isn't it? So with the cognitive capacities, you are honing socio-emotional life, everything, moral values. So skill, values, attitude, knowledge are most important. Knowledge, you are imparting information. That's the first step. But with the knowledge comes the skill, values and attitude. Without positive attitude, nothing, no knowledge is important at all. So that's why aim of the education, we know already, curricular goals, competencies and learning outcome. Next. So these are curricular goals. You will find out, very quickly I'll do. First one is physical development. In the morning I told you, developmental goal, health and well-being. In health and well-being, what we are including? Children develop habits and keep them healthy and safe. Children develop all these, I mean sharpness, in sensorial. You saw a sensory path while the girl was doing all the activities. That is called my sensory path. What I am trying to do, integrating all the senses. Like I said, high five strategy, I have 7 wonders of teaching learning strategy. So what are these 7 wonders? See, smell, touch, hear, what else? Feel. Then, so if you combine all, this is sensory integration. The child learns by hearing, by seeing, by tasting, by smelling, by feeling, by getting happy, or all these together you have to combine with the high five strategy. So sensory integration is very, very important. If the senses are not integrated, child will not learn anything. Retain anything, apply, exploration is different part. So sensory integration is very important. So when we integrate sensories, right in the childhood, when the child is coming to you, up to class 2, in the corridor I have sensory path. The whole syllabus is on the corridor. Whole syllabus is on the staircase. You can do that, isn't it? While the child is walking at the left side of the corridor, the child is learning something and enjoying and doing. So that's the way you can do. Just paint. It's very, very cost effective. You don't have to spend a lot of money. What I have done there is painting. Every summer vacation I paint the floor. So the sensory path is there. And the girl who was doing has no speech. She was not speaking, other children were speaking. So she was just doing the activity. So that's how it is beneficial, how the sensory integration is happening for a special need child. Next is socio-emotional ethical development. This is curricular goal. You see the curricular goal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. These are the curricular goals. Yesterday while I was doing HPC, I told you about 3 developmental goals. One is health and physical well-being. Second is effective communicator. Third one is involved learner. These 3 developmental goals have been divided into 12 curricular goals. You will see here. Curricular goals. So this is up to 6 children develop positive attitude. Next. So these are curricular goals going on. Children make sense of world around through observation and logical thinking. Curricular goal 8, children develop mathematical understanding. This is very, very important in 6, 7, 8. Do you converse with your children in number concept, mathematical conversation in daily life activities? Why children develop a phobia for maths? Why have we, basic maths up to 10th standard. Now we have basic maths and standard maths. Some of the children do not have aptitude. They don't have that learning. And I heard today morning that basic maths question paper is difficult than the standard maths. I have never seen the international paper. So I saw that many children are failing in basic maths. But up to 10th, I believe children should do maths to lead a successful life. At least how do they lead their life? Managing their own finance. May not be abstract concept like algebra or something which they do not relate. They may not move from simple to complex or concrete to abstract or from familiar to unfamiliar, but at least basic mathematical operation is a must till class abstract. They are not relating to the class everyday life. Like I said, you take them to basketball court and teach them maths. Through game way, through puppetry also, through Bharatanatyam dance also. Can you teach angles? Angle of body. Can you show in your body part how to make a right angle? This is one only. There are many. Can you show one besides this? Can you show angles in classroom door? 60 degrees, 75 and all those things. So you start teaching and converse in mathematical language where number comes naturally to the child. The child may have special need that graphs is a problem or drawing is a problem. That's exception. But otherwise children should be able to do maths till class 10. Why we are failing? if foundational literacy and numeracy, when we see the report of Pratham, as I said in the morning, class 8 child is not able to read class 2 books. It's pathetic. And it's going down. Because we do not focus on reading skill as a skill. And then listening as a skill. We don't hear. There is a difference between hearing and listening. We may hear a noise. But when we process that noise and understand something, that is listening. So are we really developing that listening skill? When the child listens and then they retain, then they can speak, they can read, next is they can write. So that is not happening in the yardstick of world educational scenario. We are lagging behind. It is one of the reason is automatic promotion, of course. So everybody has become complacent. Even teachers also. How come 11, 12 teachers or 9, 10 teachers are very, very accountable? Because at the end of the board, when the result comes and the analysis is done and we find out subject-wise average, then teachers feel accountable. Oh, my subject average was last time 89, this is 87, now principal will ask. 89 say 87, how it happened? So what else you are supposed to do? What are your strategies next year? How can you achieve 90? You know, every part is monitored. That's quite natural. So they feel accountable. But it is not so right from class 1 to 8. But that is the age when children are most receptive. When they process maximum information. So that part, due to automatic promotion, we became complacent. If the child is doing the word letter and sound symbol and reading letter by letter, we don't mind, the child is able to read. What is the level of reading? Have we ever tried to do that? Like I said, in Canada, in USA, in UK, they have different level of reading. So the group students, so if these are D, even I said that standard, intermediate, high, in 1 year, students can move from the table of standard to intermediate to high. They can go. That means we are working on them. The strategy for standard table is different from intermediate to high. Now the exam report, the analysis which we have got from SAFL, it is saying your class 8.35% are below basic. Got it? 48% proficient. Rest all advanced. So basically we are following that. I was thinking exactly, I was remembering my UK days, seeing this analysis, that this is how we used to do there. Children who are advanced, who are proficient, there they were UK, they were saying intermediate, and those who are booster or standard. So here it is saying the basic is 40, not 33 of course, 40 point something. So beautiful analysis has come. You do that kind of analysis in class 1 to 8. 1 to 3 HPC has come. But class 5 and 8 now, the exams are coming, school-based exams or online. This exam has happened online. Class 5 and 8 appeared on online exam and questions were competency-based. Maths and science and language. So they have appeared. Class 5 child, online class, having the standard of class 8, 7 is having knowledge of class 9, it is written there. Advanced means the child is having the knowledge of class 9. That also is defined so beautifully. Got it? So if you do analyze your result that way, and 6, 7, 8 really you take care, maximum informations are processed during this age. You ask them any world country, their capital, everything, river, mountains, everything they can retain and tell you. Because that's the stage. When they come to 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, they become focused on their subject. When they are saying NCFSE, school exhibition, there are 2 languages in 11, 12, I don't accept that. Because the child is now particularly focusing on the subjects on which the child is going to do a career. So the clarity, concept, exploration, experimentation, application, when it will happen if you are giving two languages. With the physics, chemistry, maths, And suppose the child is having legal studies, yeah, economics, yeah, physical education, and then one language English, then another language. So it is too much. So I think that 11, 12, one more language introduction, it won't work. So it will go away. It's not like that NCF, whatever recommendations are given, everything will be really absorbed. Like NCF 2005, it came. All the recommendations are not followed. So this is two language formula. I don't know what it will happen. But one language, multi-language policy, I would like to discuss for class 6, 7, 8 teachers. What we have done, right from class 1 to 8, because NEP is focusing on multilingualism and celebrating languages, regional language or local language, mostly spoken language. So you have to think about your dynamics, mostly spoken language, regional language, local language and mother language they are saying. So for me, mother tongue has changed. Suppose like I can think about my daughter, I am from Orissa, she is married to a Maharashtrian. What is the mother has also changed. So that's why we are saying mostly spoken language, the local language, the regional language. If I am in Delhi, mostly spoken local regional language will be Hindi because it is in north. Got it? So I have to find out with the Hindi, with English, already we have. But because NEP is stressing on multiple languages and multi-languages, they think that when children acquire different languages, their brain develops quickly. Both the side of brain, it gets activated and children actually acquire languages. I met a girl class 3, even her parents didn't know. There is an app called Duolingo, something. Duolingo. This child, BTS is her favorite band. Class 3. Class 3 to 8 favorite band is BTS. You ask anybody. So what they wear, what they eat, what is their hairstyle, everything they try to imitate. So one day she greeted her parents in Korea and she has learned basic language. From where you have learned? She said from Duolingo app. So look, he has an interest. So you'll find most of the 6, 7, 8 children, they would prefer to learn Korean language because of the band. So that's their interest. So children learn language very fast. How do we incorporate language in metro cities? In my case, it's very diverse classroom. 13, 14 languages children are there. They speak. I can't have 14 language teachers, of course. So how do I incorporate then? What should be my language policy? I learned this from UK again. When I was there, they called me as one of the Indian mother. Then because I am from Orissa, they said that you cook one Indian meal and this is during Christmas time. Write in your native language, what do you say to Happy Christmas? In your own script. A Spanish mother was called. She was asked to cook paella. I did a triranga, I was telling you, that a mint palau and a white curd raita and a oranges paneer sabji. Got it? So children came and saw, oh, this is a cheese, it is not melting. So what is this spice? Seeing cumin. So they were experiencing, one group was coming and seeing, okay, this is my national flag color, green, orange and white. So I served them like that. So with that, so much learning, appreciating and the language also. So I spoke 2 sentences in Odia and I wrote there also. Happy Christmas, what we say and how do we celebrate. So this is how, can we do that in our school? Now in metro cities, like I said, I observed Onam so beautifully in my school. So 6, 7, 8 on the stage, they spoke Malayali, learnt in 1 week. 2, 3 boys and 2, 3 girls. I was really amazed to see that so quickly they can speak 5 to 6 sentences so fluently on the stage. And they were wearing the garment also. We all wear in white and gold saris. And then mothers cooked sadhya. It came to school. Children did beautiful kolam. So by that, they understood, they accepted, they respected the culture of another state. So this is how we can, so what we have done, there are 22 scheduled languages in India. So we have got 11 months because June is summer vacation. So every month we will be focusing on 2 languages. This is how I have felt that how I am doing multilingualism in my school right from class 1 to 8. So every month 2 languages. So how do I select every month which language will come? As per the national day, as per the festival, as per we celebrate all these occasions. Like I said, Onam is coming. So Malayali has to come this month. Got it? So everything, so 2 languages I can take. So 22 scheduled language, I am giving exposure to the children by celebrating their festival, by telling them what is their flora and fauna, what are the industries, what is the geography, what are the main occupations, what are the raw materials available there, how do you greet people when you go there, how do you express your basic needs when you go there. That's all. We are not grading them and giving marks. So we have thought that 4 languages initially I'll start, East, West, North and South. So Punjabi, Gurmukhi is there in the north. Most of the children are from Punjab background or in Delhi. And then Gujarati, and then Tamil or Malayali, whatever teachers I have, and one is Bengali. So Gujarati, Bengali, Tamil and Gurmukhi or Punjabi we have thought that these are the 4 alternatives we'll be giving to children from class 1 to 8 with their English or and then they have Hindi, French, Sanskrit. Hindi, French, German, Sanskrit. They have to opt for one. One is English, one is Hindi, Sanskrit, French, German, pick up one, and another is regional language. So either you pick up Gurmukhi or you pick up Gujarati or you pick up Bengali or you pick up Tamil. So in my case, when my daughter was in Sardar Patel, there up to class 5, education takes place in mother tongue, that is in Hindi. And from class 6, children pick up beautifully in English. There is no problem at all. So she had one regional language, she took Bengali because I had a domestic help who was a Bengali who could really guide her very well in script, in writing and all. There was no pass, fail or mark grade. So that's what the multilingualism is focused in NEP and in NCF. So you decide how you are bringing this language policy into your school. So I have told you what I have thought of. So this is a year-long planning. 11 months divided into 22 languages. Every month will be focusing on 2 languages. As per the festivals or as per the days, we will align them so that it goes beautifully. With the celebration, with the language, everything goes beautifully. So that way we have planned. So this is very, very important and it's a lot of focus on language now. So here I think dynamics will be different. Maybe the Malayali will be mostly spoken language. Yeah, Arabic will be mostly spoken language. You have to decide with English. Or the children can have one foreign language. Like you have got international students also. Why not? While I was in UK, my daughter had French. So English is medium of instruction. But they had another language, French. So you can opt for that. Next. So these are all the curricular goals I told you. Aesthetic and cultural development, positive learning habit and competencies and learning outcome. Next. This is language. Already I have discussed about this. How we can do language, and this is oral language, spoken language, written language and how you decode language. So lot of focus on literacy, speaking, writing, listening skill. Next. Summary of approach related to language in the foundational stage. As I said, oral language, reading and writing, and then multilingualism. Already I have discussed in detail this. Next. Teaching language and literacy. So you have to develop, I don't know whether your English language teachers have done or not. My English HOD has done foundational literacy, FLN. So foundational literacy skill, what she is going to do. I mean, how many kinds of language games, how to introduce concept, how to increase the speed of reading with comprehension, intonation, expression. So CBSE did a reading challenge and they came to do a test, I mean random pilot study. So they called our children randomly and they gave a paragraph. Every time new paragraph they were giving, and they said you read. So then they thought that when children were reading very nicely, they thought that we are selecting and sending them. So they said, okay, give us the LOS, then we will select them. So I sent few special need children also who have got the skill of reading, but of course very slow. You know, and for them what we have developed, a block like that. The sentence is that, so there is a strip of papers which they can see only the line. They don't get confused with the line above, line below. This is accommodation. So a strip of paper like that, rectangular, just put that in the line, in the book. They can see only one line because they get confused with the line above and line below. So they are not able to read. So when you understand this concept in class 6, you will do yourself accommodation so that the child gets reading skill. So that was, I don't know whether you do here reading skill, any pilot or not. Have you done it? Reading skill, to understand the level of reading. Class 6, 7, 8. Your SST book, your science book, your English book, do you really ask your children to read 5 lines each? Do you really tell them to write the meaning, antonym, synonym in the book itself? Okay, so when they read, do you realize that they read with expression, they read with understanding, comprehension? After the model reading. Okay, so we have a language lab where with the Wordsworth software, where when you are speaking, it will reflect you that this is where your intonation has to be there. This is where your pause has to be there. This is where you have to stress on the word. So that gives the scale automatically to the children. When they speak 5 sentences, after that they analyze how they spoke. Is it correct or not? So that kind of language or technology also you can bring into your class, because all of you have smartboard classroom. So you can get that Wordsworth software and you can give this phonemic chat also. Even pre-primary classes are using language lab. So that's a very good thing to develop reading skill. Oral language. Children should be able to speak extempo, not rote memorization, that they are memorizing and then they are saying. They should speak with understanding. That's the stress here. So international standard, we are really lagging behind, and position is just second last or something. So reading skill is so bad. Next. So these are literacy skill. I have already spoken to you. I think you do phonemic chart and all. How do you start your language in nursery? You stress on print or the other media? Cursive also you do. How much you do? Okay, next. This is the 4-block approach to literacy instruction. You'll find 2 4 blocks approach, one for literacy, one for numeracy. This is one block which is saying oral language development, reading, word recognition and writing. Just read these 4, very important. For class 6, 7, 8. It is coming from class 1 onwards, goes up to class 12. So this is 4-block approach for literacy instruction. This is National Curriculum Framework is stressing on this. Next one. Principle of pedagogy. Already we have discussed little theoretical here. Next. Planning for teaching. Okay, this is again, yesterday I discussed little bit. As we did Panch course, this is Panchadi. Got it? So this is how do we planning for teaching. How do we teach? This is aligned with your Bloom's taxonomy. This is aligned with Bloom's taxonomy. First one is Aditi. What do you mean by Aditi? Aram, introduction, isn't it? So here Aditi means how do you introduce a concept. How do you introduce a concept? Like morning I was saying that elasticity, I can take a rubber band and stretch. You know, to give the concept. To give the statement of demand. If I say, I buy 1 liter of milk. Is it a demand statement? No. Why? Demand statement has to have 3 elements. My sentence is incomplete. I buy 1 liter of milk. Neither price is there, nor I buy 1 liter of milk. When? How frequently? So I am saying just I buy 1 liter of milk every day at the price 60 rupees a kg. Then it becomes demand statement. So if I give lot of example relating to daily life, how I am introducing a concept. So in Bloom's taxonomy, then I said the child will never forget if I introduce that way. Isn't it? So when I say that division of labor, and you say division of labor, what is that? So have you been to a bakery? Yes. Some of people are just making the dough, some of the people are baking, some of the people are cutting the bread, some of the people are packaging. So what are they doing? The person who is baking every day. You know, so achieving perfection by practice. So we have divided the labor in such a way that productivity is maximum of each one. So can I give this concept in the classroom? In the classroom, can I develop one activity with the resources available? If I am giving the concept of fixed cost, average cost, marginal cost, how do I do? What are the resources available to me? Maybe a stapler, maybe an eraser, maybe pencil, pen, ruler, all these things. Can I do that? Yes, I can do. One machine is there. Printing is going on. So you add one labor, then you add two, then three, then more number of people are there than required. So productivity goes down. No accountability. We can do a lot of activities in the class. National income accounting, role play. How do we calculate GDP, NDP? We can do it in the class beautifully. When you introduce the concept that way, like you tens, ones, thousand in maths, you explain with the help of Polo chocolate. You know, all of you, or abacus, or Vedic maths. You are giving tricks. So the children remember, retain, understand forever. That is for permanent memory. There is short-term memory, there is permanent memory. You know, when children read, when it comes semester-wise, it does harm to the students. They read for the exam, then they forget. Because they know this part is not coming in the second semester. So there is no need to remember. You know, they are very clever. So in the brain also, it is like that, short-term and permanent memory. So when your Aditi is very, very strong, introduction is very, very strong, then it leads to understanding, remembering, retention of knowledge. So this is Aditi. Next, so I am aligning it with Bloom's taxonomy. Next one is Bodh. Bodh means understanding. Gyan. So when your question paper starts, you know the percentage of question based on understanding, knowledge and fact and remembering. Bloom's taxonomy is giving you 1 mark question. Now we have done away with what, how, when, why, that kind of question. We have been told that 5W kind of question don't ask. You know, 1 mark question also data interpretation can come. There is case study given to you and 4 1 mark question, analyzing the data, interpreting the data and presenting the data in terms of 1 mark question. So it is not based on your rote memorization. It is based on your understanding. So Bodh means Gyan, the knowledge you have understood. Again, it is Bloom's taxonomy, you do that understanding. Next one is Abhyas. Abhyas is practice. Like I said, the bakery example, one is baking, one is packaging, one is cutting the bread, one is making the dough. So they are practicing the same thing, gets perfection. Productivity goes on. So whatever knowledge we are gaining in the class, do we practice it? You tell your student repeatedly, you are not doing enough practice in maths, that's why you are making mistake. You tell them, no? So before coming to class tomorrow, just practice once what I have taught, or go through once, reinforce once, repeat once, isn't it? So as you practice your knowledge, then you have got a command over the knowledge or gyan, or you have to retain, understand and explain. The next one is prayog. What do you mean by prayog? Prayog is application. Bloom's taxonomy, percentage of question based on application, your so-called HOTS questions, higher order thinking. So how do you apply the knowledge in unfamiliar question? Where here the experiential learning is coming, competency based question is coming. What is basically experiential learning? what kind of opportunity, experience you have provided in the classroom, so that the child is experiencing, observing, assimilating, reflecting, understanding, and then applying, synthesizing, creating. That's the last. So yesterday also I gave the example of virtual tour. You can give them virtual tour of a dolls museum, of a national museum, anything. And children are just experiencing, or you take them to National Science Museum or anywhere here, and then they will experience. Then they'll assimilate what they saw. Then they reflect also. Clear? And then they apply knowledge, they create, they synthesize, and they evaluate also. That is experiential knowledge. So when I'm saying that Prayog means application, how can you apply? My subject is such, economics. If you don't understand, if you don't practice, you cannot apply. Why in malls you get buy one, get one? How come you get offer? In toothpaste, buy one, get one. You go to the local grocery shop, he won't give you. What's the economics behind that? So which are the commodities government generally tax? Which are the commodities government gives subsidy? Based on what? You have to apply your knowledge. I have given you theory, now you apply. Isn't it? So the products which are inelastic, government can raise price, can tax, because you don't respond to increase in price, like life-saving drug. As I said, you can pay 25,000 for that, and government can raise the price because we will not respond. So they get the revenue. Another product, can you say? All your alcohol products, all your cigarettes, maximum revenue government is getting. So the lobby is so strong, it is never banned. Maximum revenue government is getting. In Delhi, buy one, get one policy, for which the education minister is in jail. So, so that alcohol policy, is it welfare government or maximizing revenue? Economics works. Got it? So this is where your application part comes. Yeah, tomato price went up to 270, nobody raised any voice, more than petrol. Petrol price is market driven. International market, so it is market driven. As per demand, and petrol is inelastic. Petrol is inelastic. If you want to travel, so once petrol price goes up, all prices are going up, because your supply chain completely depends on transport. Your vegetable, your milk, your fruits, vegetable, all prices will go up once the means of transport petrol price goes up. So how the taxation policy is devised, how quota policy is devised, how international trade takes place. Why do we really commercial aircraft? Why do we buy from other countries? Why don't we produce? Why some of the products we are importing, why some of the products we are exporting? Everywhere application of knowledge. Theories are there. But how do we apply that knowledge? That comes from Prayog. Once you practice, once you have understood, once you have concept clarity, when you get the question paper based on competency, you are able to understand the question, apply the knowledge, and answer it systematically. If you have memorized the derivation of physics, the theory, but the numerical is coming, you can't do. You have all theoretical knowledge, but you are not able to solve the problem because you don't have that mind. So problem solving, critical thinking, this will come from Prayog. So the last one is Prasar. Prasar means spreading, sharing knowledge. Whatever you want, how you are exchanging your knowledge, how you are applying and creating, synthesizing, whatever your knowledge you have, are you able to replicate it? Are you able to share it, exchange it? No, knowledge gains momentum once we share it. So the last stage is Prasar. So in Bloom's taxonomy, it is evaluation, creation, synthesize, that is the top layer. We haven't gone till that. We have gone up to Prayog only in our question paper at best. So we haven't gone up to synthesizing. Like I was telling you, 3 chapters combining together, you are asking one question. The child has to understand the basic concepts of these 3 chapters assimilate them, synthesize them, then only can answer. So that part we have to slowly move to that place. And then last one is creating, evaluating and creating. Creating is not that easy. The child is creating, like you have seen the advertisement, Havel wears. The mother is making chapati by hand, and every day the boy is seeing that my mother's hand is getting burnt, and then he just got where and did this. That is problem solving. That is curiosity. No, applying knowledge, how he can help. Similarly, yesterday I was telling a simple story of grandmother stitching cloth, and then the needle fell down. She can't see properly, so she is not able to get the needle. So the grandson is coming and saying, seeing that the grandmother is getting worried. What happened? I am not getting my needle. Okay, he got a magnet, tied with a thread, did like that, needle came up. You know, so value, helping grandmother, skill, finding out needle with the help of a magnet. These kind of small story will ever last. So that kind of skill, value, attitude of helping others, having empathy. A 2-line story can create magic in the class, and the child will think that how can we replicate this knowledge. So that is where Panchadi is coming, planning for teaching. How do you teach? How do you assess? Next one. See, this is how I related Bloom's taxonomy with Panchadi. So this is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, and then evaluating and creating. Here the same thing, Aditi, Bodh, Abhyas, Prayog and Prasar. So Panchkos and Panchadi, these are our traditional knowledge system we had, but we forgot it by adopting other educational system, thinking that they are best suited to us. Now, the Western countries are following this. They are going back to this traditional knowledge. So, we also thought that let's go back to our roots. Next. So this is planning for teaching, planning for differentiated instruction or scaffolding and gradual release of responsibility. Here it is a beautiful thing in NCF they are saying, ELPS. That is, one is scaffolding means releasing responsibility. What do you understand by that? In the class you are doing that. Once I tell you, you understand that yes, I am doing that. I do. Next. I do, we do, you do alone. So, scaffolding, slowly releasing responsibility. Even in HPC also we are doing that, isn't it? Beginners, let's do it together. What kind of support you need? Verbal prompting, physical prompting. You'll find some children, they want holding from here. Slowly we fade like that. Now the child can do. Or the child doesn't have a concept of boundary. So what we do? Ice cream stick. So when the child is doing coloring, will stop. That is the boundary concept you are giving. So that's one kind of support you are giving. So I do, you demonstrate. The teacher demonstrates the learning. You know, you are doing, child is seeing. Then we do, let's do together. Then you do, and then you do it alone. So that's very beautifully NCF. I would request you to read this document first, NCF foundational stage. Then go to school education. Then only you can understand. It is continuous. So this is one planning for differentiated instruction means your classroom is so diverse. As I said, different kind of learners are there using multiple intelligence, using universal design of learning, UDL. You saw in that inclusion video also, I wrote UDL. How you are teaching so that it is universally acceptable. Means you are bringing in local content, you are bringing in regional content, you are bringing in content which is relevant to child's life. Once I inspected a school and there I saw in the nursery KG classes the walls are painted. A for alligator, B for bank. It's written. So I thought, class, 3-year-old, they have alligator around them in Delhi. Bank concept, 3-year-old. So they have painted the wall saying that ABCD we have painted. So is it relevant to child's vocabulary, the child's life, the grade, the stage, the phase? We were really surprised how the school is done. Walls are beautifully painted, nothing relevant to school life. So it is almost spoken walls, but not meant for school. Not meant for any stakeholder, neither parents nor teachers nor children. So over ambitious. So the management must have done that. When I asked teachers, they said, we don't know, we have no control. So the teacher doesn't know what are resources available inside the classrooms, he has no control. So that's pathetic state. So when differentiated instruction, we are saying, how do you differentiate instruction as per the need of the child? So NEP is stressing education as per need of the child. I will change for you. So if you need visual input, input is there. You need textual, it is there. You need auditory, it is there. You understand learning by doing, it is there. Activities designed, tasks are designed, projects are there. So you are providing multiple opportunities. Pen and paper is the last mode of assessment. Keep it in mind. And especially 6, 7, 8. Ask the child to make a documentary, to make a brochure. You are visiting to any part in Oman also, you are going suppose somewhere. In Delhi, I say, we'll be visiting Jaipur. So make one itinerary, one brochure. What are the modes of transport available to Jaipur? What are the monuments there you will see? What all you need to eat? What all you can buy? So many things the child will research and prepare a beautiful brochure. You go much beyond your textbook. So 6, 7, 8, you can experiment. I mean, sky is the limit. Innovation, sky is the limit because you don't have any accountability, you don't have any board exam, nothing. Free. No stress there. So try to experiment, explore as much as you can do from class 1 to 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, little bit binding is coming from the board because you are affiliated to one of the national board. So as per the requirement, your teaching learning strategy changes. But differentiated instruction means how you are modifying, how you are accommodating your classroom need. And what all accommodation you are doing. Either in the sitting, in the teaching learning practice, have you developed any individualized education program for your students? Got it? How you are keeping the evidence and documentation of your teaching learning strategies. That is differentiated instruction. Homework already and scaffolding and gradual release, I told you. I do, you do, sorry, I do, we do, you do, and now you do it alone or you share your knowledge. So last one is homework. We were talking in the morning. So homework, please give them proper time, and homework should not be question answer only. Homework and assignment has to be most creative and innovative. Spend some time in creating assignment and homework and worksheet, because there you can innovate, there you can experiment, explore. The basic question, when you are doing the final question paper, you have to keep in mind, it has to be average. 70% of children can do the question paper. 15% may be very high level and 15% very easy. Generally we do. But in worksheet assignment, there is no binding like this. It has to move from simple to complex. It can move from, again, familiar to unfamiliar and concrete to abstract, but have some innovation there. So it really forces the child to think, to research. So what we do on Saturdays when teachers come, students don't come, department-wise they sit down and chapter-wise they have divided. So every teacher is given 5 innovative questions, you think. Now we decided, it has been experimented in IIT also, why not children making their own question bank? And believe me, innovative questions were much better by the children than the teachers. Just 7 questions we asked. We don't have the prerogative to ask question always to students. Students may ask question. Why not making their own question paper innovative? So we tried that. Beautiful way. We got training from IIM Ahmedabad how to frame question papers. And we trained our students. Now they are framing their own question bank. In NCFSE, it is said NCRT will come up with a question bank, 9, 10, 11, 12. Question setters will go through a training from a formal agency how to set question paper. These are all coming for us, new things. So we have to go through a training how to frame question paper for 9, 10, 11, 12 because it is completely on competency based. If you want to do training competency based, you can employ ACER. Yesterday I was saying Australian Council on Education Research, they do beautiful training program for competency based. Subject wise, you can enroll online courses and then you learn how to ask competency based question in your own subject. So some of the generalized and then they do subject wise. We have gone through that. Lovely workshops they do. So now from NCRT you will be trained how to frame question paper, competency based. Next. We have done this high five strategy, toy based. Are you following in KG1, KG2 toy based here? So what are the traditional toys you are using in the class?
Making what we remember the wheel which children can run. So when we're teaching them about air and all, so the fan moves, or a tambourine, which we make just the old these bowls and we put pebbles inside, and because we don't get a lot of toys, the old traditional toys here.
So when you visit India, I mean, lot of toys in Chennai, Channapatnam toys, or the lattu, like we say, that rolls around, wooden toys. Even from fabrics also they are making toys. The puppets, all those things. You bring into to the class, you can find, I mean, you can make your own toys. Isn't it? It's not for primary classes, please. In Delhi, we have done workshop where up to class 10, we have used toys. Using physics, refraction, reflection, everything to toys. We had one workshop in Balbharti and beautifully the teachers have said, taught, like the other senior teachers were thinking, 11, 12, how come toys? 9, 10, it is not done. It is up to primary class. So up to class 10, beautiful TLMs using toys. So in NEP, they are focusing on toy-based pedagogy because children naturally they get attracted to toys. Yesterday I was showing them Jadui Pitara. So Jadui Pitara is a new concept developed by Innovation Cell of Ministry, and there are links also. In the pen drive I have given the links. You can open the link, you will see lot of flashcards, lot of websites, how to make Jadui Pitara. Now in our Delhi, in my school, every teacher has developed their own Jadui Pitara, a huge box, beautifully designed. And it is creating so much curiosity, putting hand inside and what is coming up. It is Jadoo. So you are creating magic. It's a beautiful concept. So using toys, stories, puppets, finger puppets, all these things, flashcards, TLM plays most important part in 6, 7, 8, up to 10. In 9, 10th, do you take them to science lab? 9th and 10th? You take them to science lab, demonstrate, or some of the experiment come to the classroom? You take them to the science lab, isn't it? Okay. So while the children are going to library, is any teacher accompanying? Who is the teacher who is accompanying? Besides the librarian? So if the class teacher is from computer science and accompanying library, what benefit? Can you provide a language teacher? So we have done that. In library period, when the class 6 children are going to the library, somebody has to facilitate them what are the books they have to. Otherwise, class 6 student is holding a Chetan Bhagat book and reading that. We don't want that. Language is very bad. A class 6 child should not go through Chetan Bhagat. If you don't facilitate them, guide them, mentor them, they can read anything. So the stage wise, age wise, do you declare reading list in the beginning of the session, April? 10 books. No, I am saying in April, every class, parents are given, These are the 10 books your child has to read in class 6. Do you have a class library? In one corner of the class library, and there is a librarian in the class. So the children, those who can buy books also can contribute to the class library. So if there is a school library, but there is a class library concept also. What it happens? Drop everything, read now, one period. It can come surprise. Drop everything and read now. So the bell goes, the bell is different. So the child is getting one interesting book from one corner from the class library and they read together. Got it? So the period is known as drop everything and read. So there is, yeah. No, what I am trying to say, class library means the children are accountable for their library, for their own class library. There is a librarian, class 2 also, there is a library monitor of the class who is maintaining the books. Similarly, when children, they travel by bus going back home, we saw that there is lot of unproductive conversation going on, where the children class 4, 5 and 11, 12 sitting together. The language of 11, 12 is not appropriate for 4 and 5. So one of the English HOD was traveling in that bus. So she thought how I can actively engage these children, because now they are stress free, school is over, going home, anything crap they can talk without mindfully thinking that small children are sitting. So what she did, the bus on top, that place is there to keep the bag, she started creating bus library. Got it? So age wise, stage wise, she saw that which are the classes which are traveling in her bus. She just experimented it. And I got a appreciation letter from the parents saying that this is great initiative you have taken. And we could see when the children are getting down from the bus, they are not talking, they are reading a book, and we really like that. So she innovated this idea. So all the story books, class 4, 5, 11, 12, whatever, competition, success review, all the books she has kept there. Then she could see that children, instead of talking to each other in other languages, they are now engaged. She could engage them in reading. So reading is a habit how you can inculcate. Do you really advise that before going to bed, read 20 lines to a class 1 child? Read just 20 lines. If you can't read, your mother, your father has to read 20 lines, then you go to sleep. You are forming habit, isn't it? The child is not able to read. Somebody can read 20 lines. And then you see, without reading a book, the child cannot go to bed. This is what I have seen in my daughter. I started from nursery, read 20 lines. So those animated books, big pictures, one line she started. Then in between I was reading 20 lines and then she is going to bed. Now she can't sleep without a book. Voracious reader. So that's what we want in new education policy. Reading. Unless you read, you cannot improve your vocabulary, you cannot write, you cannot speak well also. Have you heard about Sasi Tharoor's English? All of you know? So how? He was explaining how he got this. Dining table, his father used to discuss the word meaning, new word, every day new word. He was given thesaurus. He was given innumerable books to read. He said it was a part of our family. So while eating, we were supposed to say new 5 words, what you have learned, where it is used most appropriately. So this is how we are forming habit. So class 6, 7, 8 is the appropriate age when children independently they can get this habit. So you have to start that. Do you have a board in your school where a new word, and everywhere it is different? 3 to 5 is different, of course. 6 to 8 is different. 9, 10, 11, 12. But do the children really understand that word and use that word? What do you do? What for the day? What for the day? Thought of the day in one of the corridor, isn't it? What for the week? Okay. So whatever may be, how we are learning through play, through different activities, specifically the focus is on literacy and numeracy. Next. Organizing the learning spaces. What do you understand by this? Building as a learning aid. The whole school is a learning space. How do you organize? Like you said, we have library. Then why I'm talking about classroom library? Why I'm talking about in the library, there is a wall which is known as spoken wall. Wall magazine you can create. Got it? In library, there must be a wall, isn't it? That wall, you give it to class 6, 1 month, 7th, 1 month, 8, 1 month. Let them express. Let them write something. Let them draw something. There can be a travelogue also. You want to express anything, that month is given to that class. So we had one project in one of the school that is called Speaking Walls. How the walls have been organized as learning spaces. Got it? So now my school, the learning spaces are full of millets and Chandrayaan everywhere. So this is 2023 is millet year. So everywhere, lot of knowledge, lot of understanding, lot of sharing of facts you'll find on millets. Activities based on millets. And then when this Chandrayaan came, so we could find out then the school, everything was happening and we were putting it in on our social media. The school has to have a media policy. In 21st century skill, one skill is media skill. Got it? So you have to have your Instagram, you have to have your Facebook, your Twitter, your all the social media. So the children know how to ethically use it, how to brand your school. So everything is happening. So literacy and media skill, if you find 21st century skill manual given by CBSE, you read that. So literacy and media skill, how digital well-being. There are 8 digital skills given by World Economic Forum. And these 8 skills are imparted to class 6, 7, 8. Because it has been observed by the age of class 10 or 12, child is having first phone, own phone, cell phone, without understanding how to use it. Isn't it? So nowadays, last month, UNESCO has banned smartphone in every organization, educational organization, especially school, because it is disrupting learning. It is affecting retention. It is affecting memory, attention, all those things. So smartphone is banned. But you may think that morning I said you cannot ban anything. We can ban smartphone. Instead, we can advise parents to get keypad phone. Communication has to be on. Safety security is a major point in metro cities because from school they go to coaching or parents are working, they use metro, reach home. So parents need to know whether they have reached or not. For that, smartphone is not required with a camera, with net, with all the unwanted material filled in there. So you give a phone, only keypad phone, the child is getting, depositing to the class teacher in the beginning, taking it at the back, at the end of the day. So that is enough. We are not banning. Your communication challenge is, the channel is on. And then we don't get any boys locker room, girls locker room, videographed in the school. So that part we can do without banning. How do we innovate so that safety, security, communication, everything is on, but smartphones are banned? We don't allow smart watches in school. Not at all. Even you have to be careful. In one of the CTET exam for teachers, one boy was writing and one lady was writing behind. So the invigilator is taking round and this lady said that I am getting some sound which is bothering me. I am not able to write. Some encrypted sound I am getting. Then the invigilator stood there. After some time she realized, yes, there is something, sound is coming. She couldn't find out from where. Then when she came here, she got it little louder. Then she told the boy to stand up. He was just wearing a hoodie. That's all, nothing else. And he has been completely checked at the gate by the PT teachers. Then we couldn't find, we took him out, searched him properly, couldn't find anything. Then the PT teacher said, take out your hoodie. Here it is inbuilt coming, the technology. So the question paper in camera it is going and answer is coming. So in the hoodie itself it is inbuilt. Nowadays this is the new fashion. So then when we took out the hoodie and told the boy again to write, he didn't write a single sentence. So they are much smarter. Don't allow, like NEET exam they do. So we don't allow any smartwatch. Whole question paper answered can be here. They can do that. So no smartwatch, no smartphone. Be a smart learner. And we have to be smarter than our learner. Then only we can guide them. Otherwise, they'll cheat you in front of you. During pandemic, when exam was going on, we requested parents, please do the role of teacher, take half a day leave and invigilate them. One father wrote to me, question number 18, part B, give him 0. He has cheated. One mother said, I took leave from office, I'm sitting beside and she's copying down everything answer, I'm not able to know. They're so smart. But parents are so good, they wrote back. I really appreciated giving them letter that saying that these part give them 0. They have cheated. You know, and then biology teacher said, I have not taught in the class. This is not in the book, but all of them have written the same answer. So the answer was given in either Google or ChatGPT, whatever you do. So they are much smarter, isn't it? So how we can devise question paper in such a way that there is no Google answer, standard answer to that. That's what is called competency-based education. So it is based on computation where you are applying knowledge, you are exploring, you are synthesizing, creating, evaluating and writing the answer. Straight answer is not available at all. So be smarter. So we have to undergo the training to frame question paper. It is coming in NCFAC. Next. And data handling, it is there. That is the most important employment avenue which is coming in future. Data analysts are most highly paid in the world now. So now we are starting with AI as one of the branch in engineering, isn't it? So should we start AI in 11th and 12th? Children will be interested to take that subject. We have that skill subject from 6 to 10. But 11th, 12th as a major subject AI. From next year onward we are starting. Because there is a 4-year engineering program coming on AI. And that is computational thinking or coding. Now, my class 1 to 5, instead of those boring computer books where theories are there, completely replaced by coding done through storytelling. Coding through storytelling. So, the HOD of computer, she has a daughter who is growing with her. So, she taught her coding right in preschool, nursery. So she picked up and she came to my room and taught me coding, that girl, pre-primary. She stood first in Delhi in coding. And then the teacher was training her. Then we realized coding through storytelling is really doing magic. And it is creating so much creation and innovation. Now, from class 1 to 5, we don't have those computer books where the parts are learned, where the theory is asked in the question paper. We have done away with. Complete coding from nursery to class 5 through storytelling. Beautiful. And coding camp, boot camp was done. The whole school and 30 more schools joined. It is a 5-day long coding camp done by the computer HOD. No other commercial vendor. And the coding was done through storytelling. Beautiful camp. So now the whole school, they are now ingrained that we'll do coding. We don't have to go for, what is that famous vendor? Whitehead. Yes. They approached me. I said, we do coding better than you. Without charging anything. My computer HOD is doing through coding classes. So we thought that why should children go for coding classes? Through storytelling, mathematics introduction. These 2 blocks are very important. Keep it in mind. Oral math talk. From yesterday itself, I am talking about conversation in mathematical language. It has to go on in the classroom. You have to create that kind of opportunities. You are going to the marketplace. I said that fruit chart or vegetable chart is How much you have? 50 rupees. How much I have to give back? 20 rupees. So the children are handling finance on their own. The milk booth video I showed you, farm to plate video I showed you, everywhere children and teacher are talking in terms of number. So conversation in number will give you, relate you to the daily life rather than making maths more abstract and procedural. Next one. So assessment for furthering learning objective, we have done that. Next. Okay. Next. Learning teaching material. I would request all of you to have one exhibition of TLM, subject wise. It leads to innovation and creation. Maths teacher bring in their TLM, and for pre-primary you can create your own Jadui Pitara and bring it to the exhibitions. And even CBSE also does competition. So we are sent as observers. Like social study, I was sent as observers because my subject is economy. Somebody is coming from maths, somebody is coming from language. So we go, one school is the venue and then TLM exhibition. So teachers really exhibition. Create your own TLM, cost effective, not spending money, resources available in your ecosystem, and then TLM exhibition. It's very good. Next. This is Jadui where it is mentioned. I don't know, you must not have started the box. Next. These are the links I have already given. If you don't know about Jadui Pitara, slide with all the web links. It will help you to find out the download. So these are web links. Next. Something they are giving sample posters, chart. Next. Next. These are for foundational years. Next. These cards are available. These cards are available. You TLM. Next. Musical instrument. There is an institution called Rock Sport. You have Belan. They'll give you anything available. Create your own music. Music from junk. I mean, you just start one bit and then you start creating music. That is creation. Beautiful. And then they videograph it and give it to us that your children have composed this piece of music. So these are the musical instrument. Give it to the class and then see how they are creating a piece of music for themselves. Next. Sensory development. All of you know about this. What are the materials required? Textured. Like I showed you how the children were learning the textures by moving from one tray to another. Like they said chip chipa or sticky, cool, instruction. This is not all. Fonts are changing. The language is changing. Meaning the same. They are moving from one tray to another, but her command is different. Next, I can go to NCF-AC, the senior one. You can close this PPT. We can start the NCF for senior school. Yeah. So this is a 643 page document. So I am trying to make the Amasar anywhere. So this is some key points from 643 in one day. Yes, can I get your attention please at the back? Now this is NCF school education for senior school. What the NEP now ingrained in you? Middle wing, 6, 7 divide. How many domains you have taken care? Bagless days. So what kind of for bagless day? Children understood the concept without dealing with the book, with pen and paper, through activity. Through activity. Tell me 6, 7, 8, take the chapter science. Like I'll tell you, take the chapter science. Like I'll tell you, product designing, design technology. So these are skill. So like yesterday I was giving the example that making pouches, making bags out of t-shirt or from jeans, you are making sling bags. The main integrity. Can you design? Help? Then CBSE has value cards. Have you seen them? Value cards. You have got gender cards. You have got pet cards, physical education cards. See these cards. So maths teachers, they are making, so 5 days, mostly we do your half yearly exam comes. Next onwards, lot of festivals and then your annual can give tie and dye. Porter them to different vocations. School, 7 children are published authors. Books are available on Amazon. Children are taking this. This is a skill. This is a vocation. They can become publishers, isn't it? They can go to printing industry. So different vocation you are exposing them. Different vocation. 6, 7, 8. This is these 10 bagless days are meant for 10 vocations actually. 10 kind of vocation you can expose them. 10 domains, 10 curricular goals. So 6, 7 is very important. NEP is focusing on vocationalization of education. There is no difference or is in education. Maths in sports, sports in maths. So all the subjects. So at basic 10th, we used to give us mark. How integrated it is. One of my projects stood first, which was there. Similarly, music. So how music with maths can come in, how nature can come in maths. So that part, vocation. The stage is for student aged between 11 to 14. So analysis, synthesis, through them, we are not giving them, nothing must come. What you are doing is correct. All of us are doing that way. All of us are doing that way. English, and then they are having Hindi, French, Sanskrit, and whatever other alternative you have, German. Then now we have started the third language as regional language. But we have started doing that. In India, we have started doing that. Most of the school have started another language, which is for the appreciation. It is just starting, or from April we'll be starting. We are in the planning stage, like I was telling how I have planned. Yes, you don't have those many teachers. So how I am doing? Bringing in parents. Like I did Manipur now. You know, Manipuri cuisine is very, very different. We had a stall on Manipuri. So Manipuri parents, they came in, they exposed us to the specific herbs which are available there. They gave us red rice pudding. So they were bringing in the language. So I incorporated my parents as assets. I have one teacher, Northeastern, Western music teacher is from Manipur. So I'm using. So you can bring in parents, you can bring in even, yeah. Because activities are not separated from regular teaching. This has, NEP is talking about school complex. What is school complex? You don't have Sahodaya here. CBSE's concept Sahodaya. In India, we have Sahodaya complex, isn't it? That is different. But school complex is talking about schools situated nearby, how they can exchange, share human resources, infrastructure, and then a school. I have 2-acre playground and you have a 2-acre school. A lab from Niti Aayog. So can you bring in, okay. So can the neighborhood government school and, I am not doing. So I am going, my teacher of 9th, 10th are going to Bal Bharati to learn toy pedagogy. That is exchanging human resources, exchanging TLM, teaching learning material. X are there. Can I employ a PGT? No. For 7 students, PGT studies. So first half she comes to me, 11:30 or 11 in the recess time she goes, and next half in other school. This see how I am following inclusive UDL or differentiated instruction. Go back and apply the same. So this is a beautiful complex which has come in NEP and NCF AC. One of the key point here. Okay, there is a break here. Okay, after the tea break you can come. NCERT. There is no break. Okay, next slide. To the phase 1, all students would continue to engage with all the curricular areas as in the middle stage. Climate change, environmental study are opposing. Next, please. So we can see the slides. These are the main points. They are in the draft. 4,000 organizations have said that 2 languages and 1 language is Indian language. Which are these 4,000 organizations? We don't know. Because nobody asked us, practitioners. All state schools. No, Delhi government is not having. What? 2 language? In 11, 12? 2 language. But now we are insisting 11, 12 will be modular. There will be 2 semester, 2 exams. It will never happen. Because it will never happen. Because with the kind of number of students and the logistics, just go for evaluation, so we can't teach. So if twice up. So that's why board exam, 1 will be there. So 9th and 10th you can education, lot of credit system. Have you attended any credit system? You must understand. What is credit system? Finally it is coming. 9th and 10th and 11, 12, the credit bank. So it is a point system 1 to 8. You have to understand. Just recently when Prime Minister inaugurated that ITP or Samagra Shiksha, there the credit system was presented to us. So now it has been developed for school system, 9, 10, 11, 12 credit system. Children may go back to work and come back to study again. So how they are accumulating their points, credits, and then they can go ahead. Similarly, the teachers, those who want to do teaching course or the B.Ed course after class 12, you can go for 4 years. If you have graduation degree, you can go for 2 years. If you have post-graduation degree, you can go for 1 year. But this 4-year B.Ed course will be in higher institution, in university, where your study material will be incorporated with the graduation level study material, the subjects. Suppose you want to do in maths, you want to do in economics. So the economics courses of intermediate and graduation level will be incorporated in your B.Ed level. Got it? And then inclusive education also, B.Ed in special education, now it has been incorporated in the general B.Ed. So 4-year course, if you want, you have decided that you will be a teacher, after class 12 we can do 4-year course, integrated in colleges, in university, in higher institutions. Now today the news has come, NCERT has been decided as a deemed university. NCERT RIE, these are regional institute, those who were affiliated to Bhubaneswar and Bhopal, now they themselves have been declared as deemed university, so they can give you certification course, higher institution itself. So the status has been elevated for NCERT, today's news. So that NCERT can give you certification. So credit system, please have a workshop on that. Next. So 2 examination here, it is written here. So this will take after 10 years. So whether these recommendations will be followed or not, it is not clear at all. So don't get bugged up seeing these slides, because it is not a reality now. Next. Board certification, as I was saying, seeing you, the core subjects from the language, from the skill subject, you know, those kind of categorization has been done. Next. So lot of thrust on art education, environment education, sports education. Next slide. This is art education. Already we are very, very well versed with the art integrated projects, right from middle wing. Next one. See, physical education. So this is again one manual has come on Seva and physical education. How do you involve? The course for physical education has undergone a lot of changes. It's not so easy to score marks anymore. Next one. Vocational education in 11, 12, 9 to 12. These are new thrust areas to make the child employable, to make the child ready for the future. Sports, art, vocational education, last one. Next. Next. Environmental education. This has to be an integral part of your 9 to 12th education. Here the agriculture concept is coming in. The ministry is working on it. Next. Same thing. Right from middle age to class 12. Next. Rootedness and pride in India, Indian knowledge system. Like I said, Panchkos, Panchadi, even Pramanas I didn't discuss. These are Anuman, Upalabdhi, Anupalabdhi, means your experiences. You know, how you draw inferences, how you draw conclusion, what is induction, what is deduction. These are all Indian rootedness and Indian knowledge system. These have come to NCF. Next. So that is end of NCF. These are few key points from NCF SE, education. Thank you so much.
Dear teachers, Dear teachers, the feedback link is provided in the description box. We are moving ahead with the valedictory function. After the valedictory function, we'll move to the field for the group photograph and then for tea break. I hope that's okay with all of you. Honorable Chairman of the Indian School Board, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, distinguished CBSE Master Trainer and Resource Person for the Professional Development Program for Teachers of Indian Schools, Dr. Sudha Acharya, Mr. Vijay Saravanan and Mr. Krishnendu, Directors on the Board of Directors, Senior Principal and Education Advisor, Mr. Vinoba MP, respected principals of Indian schools in the Sultanate of Oman, Vice Principals, Assistant Vice Principals, and today's enthusiastic participants, good evening. Gratitude is the best attitude one should possess. To express our sincere appreciation and profound gratitude, the Board of Directors, Indian Schools Oman, will present a memento to the Honorable Resource Person, Dr. Sudha Acharya. May I request Mr. Vijay Saravanan, Mr. Krishnendu, and Education Advisor, Mr. M.B. Vinoba, to accompany our Chairman to the stage. May I request Mr. Saji S. Nair, Officiating Principal, to accompany Ms. Sudha Acharya to the stage. I request Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools, Oman, to do the honors. May I invite Mr. Saji S. Nair, Officiating Principal, Indian School Muscat, to felicitate our resource person, Dr. Sudha Acharya, with mementos. May I request our Chairman to give a small token of gratitude to Dr. Sudha Acharya. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'ams. Now may I invite Dr. Alexi Joseph, Assistant Education Advisor, to propose a vote of thanks.
Honorable Chairman, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Mr. Krishnendu and Mr. Vijay Saravanan, Directors on the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, Senior Principal and Education Advisor, Mr. Vinoba MP, Distinguished CBC Master Trainer, Dr. Sudha Acharya, esteemed principals, heads of departments, teachers from various Indian schools in Oman. Good evening. At the very outset, let me express our sincere gratitude to the benevolent ruler of this country, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, and His Majesty's government, particularly the Ministry of Education, for the immense support and guidance given in all educational endeavors of Indian schools. I feel honored and privileged to propose the word of thanks on this special day when we conclude the professional development program. We thank our resource person, Dr. Sudha Acharya, for her inspiring and informative sessions. The nuances of new educational policy, the salient features of holistic progress card, the intricacies of national curriculum framework, all these have been simplified for the understanding of everyone by a renowned resource person. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your expertise and experience with the teachers of Indian schools in Oman. We are grateful to Dr. Shivakumar Manikyam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman, and the esteemed members of the Board of Directors, particularly Mr. Vinoba MP, the Senior Principal and Education Advisor, for his indispensable role in organizing this professional development program. An event of this magnitude cannot happen overnight. There have been series of meetings, meticulous planning, and execution of decisions taken at various levels, which have finally given the result of the successful completion of this two-day event. Congratulations and big thank you to ISM Management Committee, Mr. Sajid Nair, the officiating principal of Indian School Muscat, and Mrs. Biji Sebastian, Assistant Vice Principal and the Chief Coordinator of this program, and the entire team of ISM teachers who have worked tirelessly to ensure the success of the event. The esteemed principals of Indian schools in Oman, a big thank you to you all for two reasons. First, for their physical, active presence on both the days, and second, and the most importantly, for encouraging and motivating the teachers for attending this program. Thank you for your wholehearted cooperation in making this event a memorable one for the teachers. Let me make a special mention of the most enthusiastic participants of yesterday and today, the teachers who traveled from far and near to ISM to attend the event physically, and those teachers who assembled in various schools, in their respective schools, to attend the event virtually. Thank you all for your active participation, and I am sure the takeaways must have exceeded your inconveniences, so you will not regret having spent your precious weekends for this program. Thank you to the technical team that has worked diligently, the photography and the video live streaming team, the IT support of ISM, and the administrative staff who was at the disposal of every beck and call with complete commitment. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. As we come to the culmination of the professional development program, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to the Board of Directors for organizing this teacher training session with utmost precision. As we return to our respective educational institutions, let us keep up the spirit of continuous learning. May our classrooms be filled with curiosity and enthusiasm. Thank you and good evening. Now, may I request all the teachers to proceed to the field for a group photograph. After the group photograph, please come back, refresh yourself with tea and snacks before you leave home.